Here we go. Today, the book review is on The Family by John Bradshaw. This book came out a long time ago. Probably, this is not the first edition, but this was probably released in, let's see here. Bradshaw was born in 1933. Interesting. In the early 90s, mid-90s. This edition is signed by him. I went to one or two of his seminars when he came to my neck of the woods. The Family was one of his first books. He wrote several more, and this is a picture of him, as you can see. He also did a PBS series, which was very popular, and his core approach was to classify the problems that you're going through in life as a traumatized inner child, and his direction then was to, as an adult, go back in time in your mind to that child, to approach that child and try and help it understand that it's now an adult, and that the trauma you went through as a child, which stymied your growth of your emotional growth, is now not as serious as an adult. You can see how things were. So the idea is to go back in time and bring that child forward, understand what happened, why, the wherefores, and then grieve, I hope, to allow you to move on in life. This book was particularly one of my first I read. As you can see, it's been well and truly marked up. I don't usually mark up my books, but in this case I was in need of being able to review and go back over what I found was useful in the book, and I folded pages down, marked pencil things, hopefully not to destroy it too much. I usually take much better care of my books, but this was a part of my life where I really had to focus on things. As you can see, that was probably very important because there's a big fold in the page and some things here. Pencil, I can erase them if necessary. So I went through this book several times for my own benefit, and another part of what he taught back then was to look at your family structure, your mother, father, siblings, anybody who's in your immediate circle, as being part of a mobile. So if it was hanging down from the ceiling, and there would be these little people hanging off the end of it, and that mobile balances itself. And if somebody in that system removes themselves, then the rest of the mobile will rebalance itself. And what Bradshaw expounded was that person had certain behavioral traits, maybe alcoholism, maybe abuse, and when that person removed themselves, the mobile would rebalance and somebody else would take that role on. So he also identified that in children, you've got the controlling firstborn, the acting out secondborn, the lost child, probably a thirdborn. And I found that in family structures, what I've encountered since then, that often bears out, and sometimes those roles change a bit. Like if there's 4 children, you'll find there's duplicate roles and so forth. But generally speaking, he had a pretty good approach to things and allowed people to go back and review their life, review the child that got emotionally hung up at a certain age, and bring that all to the fore so that they could move on in life. And I found this book was really very good for that. So by all means, go find a copy in the library, or maybe secondhand bookstore, even brand new. I'm not sure if it's probably still in publication, I'm sure.